Hello, and welcome to Dispatches from the Civil War, a podcast breaking down events of the American Civil War week by week in real time. My name is Logan, and I will be your host. This week, the events of February 15th through the 21st in 1861. This week, the Peace Conference, remember them, the group that is trying to stem the possible coming armed conflict? They will keep working at discussion and debate on every possible detail. Maybe they can come up with a plan that will satisfy all parties and avert the conflict that many are now predicting. I think we all know where to place our bets for that outcome. Unfortunately, events elsewhere are working against the peace conference. Several federal military officers, such as Raphael Semmes of the Navy, are resigning their posts to become part of the Southern military and naval forces. The current top general of the Army, Winfield Scott, is long in the tooth for active military service. Maybe there is a chance that Robert E. Lee could take his place, as Scott has designs on just such a thing taking place. However, Lee is from Virginia, and that state's intentions have not been made up yet, and could play a role in what decision Lee makes. President-elect Lincoln, still traveling to Washington, gives a speech in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, where he says, "There is really no crisis except an artificial one." It's very nice to see that even long ago, politicians were not above a little gaslighting. He has made similar comments while in Cleveland, Ohio. Having received a threat of assassination on the 19th, Lincoln will travel with a revised schedule and route with only Detective Alan Pinkerton and a friend into the Capitol. Meanwhile, Jefferson Davis will make it to Montgomery, Alabama, and be sworn in as the provisional president for the Confederate States of America. During his inauguration, Davis will point out that the American idea that governments rest on the consent of the governed. He would like to avoid armed conflict, but he also holds the Southern position in high esteem, saying obstacles may retard, but they cannot long prevent the progress of a movement sanctified by its justice. A Confederate cabinet starts to take shape. Secretary of State Robert Toombs, Secretary of War Leroy Pope Walker, Secretary of Treasurer Christopher Memminger, Secretary of the Navy Stephen Mallory, Postmaster General John Reagan, and Attorney General Stephen Mallory. Louisiana, who has really been on a tear of controlling federal facilities, will obtain control of the United States Paymaster's Office in New Orleans. And that's where things stand at the end of the week. The Confederate States of America, at least on paper, is beginning to develop some semblance of a government, while Lincoln is making his way to take over the executive branch of the United States federal government. Tune in next week to see further developments. Thank you for listening to Dispatches from the Civil War, written, produced, recorded, and developed by myself with assistance provided by Rosemary and Paige, the podcast kitties. If you've enjoyed this or other episodes, please consider putting up a review and recommending it to your friends. Until next time, keep fit as a fiddle and toe the mark.